Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Cheung Sung, and I would like to talk about uh, the COVID-19 challenge and the needs of global response and the limitation of nationalistic approach or politics. The 1990s, after the collapse of communism, was an era of optimism marked by the expansion of liberal democracies and values and confident prediction of the world being flat. However, this euphoria was short-lived. The finance crisis of 2008 uh, and the following years provide enough reasons for the rise of nationalistic parties, even in pluralistic nations like UK and the USA. But this new nationalism and its basic propositions are getting unsettled as a result of the exponential and global spread of coronavirus. While many countries have closed their borders in order to curb the infection, there is also realization of the need for collective efforts to tackle the pandemic. Increase the global effort, observed David Miliband, in containing the present crisis and conceivably the future ones is the most important lesson from the crisis. The global pandemic has shown the limits of the politics of anger, unleashed by the rise of nationalistic politics. This global effort has been largely weakened with President Trump announcing withdrawal of America funding to WHO following a large number of deaths in the US. This is part of Trump's strategy to blame others to cover up his own failures. He blamed his predecessor, Barack Obama. He threatens to desert his NATO allies and abandon NAFTA. His isolationist rhetoric was popular in the United States. Despite the WHO's warning on 30 January 2020, both he and his Brazilian counterpart, Jair Bolsonaro, dismissed the virus as a common flu, rather than admit his failure to put in place effective measures to combat the spread of the virus. He directed his anger against the WHO for against that information had been concealed and for the lack of proper initiatives. His outburst against China increased, forgetting that he himself had praised China on 26 January for its transparency and efficient step in fighting the virus. The US at present has the highest number of infected and deaths in the glory total of over 2 million cases. The part US leadership is expected, according to Yuval Noah Harari, though the world looks towards WHO for coordinating a long-term solution as it did in dealing with the Zika, Ebola, and HIV spreads. It is also encouraging that many other advanced nations are collaborating with one another, but the fact remains that the absence of the US in terms of not providing leadership is hurting the process of finding a cure. In the debate as to whether democracies or non-democracies have combated the crisis better, the record is mixed. The performance of Germany, South Korea, and Taiwan has been impressive. Iran's failure is shameful. India's response, in spite of criticism regarding its handling of migrant labor, has earned praise both within and outside. A global crisis demands a global response. It is vital to think beyond the nation state. So I think that uh, uh, our South Korea should pursue for um, global response and cooperation and solidarity. But U.S. nationalism is not good for our fighting against the COVID-19. We should push for the global solidarity and cooperation and empathy and global fighting. Thank you very much for listening to my work.